You think you know the Philadelphia Eagles roster heading into the 2025 season, but every time Howie Roseman steps into August, it feels like the rules of the game shift completely. This latest move is exactly that kind of shockwave. The Eagles just traded tight end Harrison Bryant along with a fifth-round pick to the Houston Texans, and in return, they bring in wide receiver John Metchi and a sixth-round pick. At first glance, it might feel like a lateral move, something to fill a small gap, but if you know Howie Roseman style, you know that every transaction in late summer is calculated, deliberate, and often a signal of much bigger plans behind the scenes. Philadelphia has always been a team that balances boldness with precision. Over the past few years, August has become a sort of unofficial deadline for the front office to address weaknesses, experiment with depth, and add pieces that could change the trajectory of the season before the regular games even begin. The quarterback situation was a perfect example. Going into the preseason, there were lingering doubts about who would step up opposite Quinton Mitchell. Key Ringo and Adoree Jackson had flashes, but neither commanded enough confidence from the coaching staff to secure the position outright. That's why the acquisition of Jacorian Bennett made so much sense. A former fourth-round pick who earned a starting role with the Las Vegas Raiders, Bennett showcased the kind of speed, physicality, and football IQ that Philadelphia needed. Watching him in action, even in limited preseason snaps, it was clear the Eagles were bringing in someone who could not just fill a spot, but challenge for it, push the existing roster, and elevate the level of competition in practice and in games. But while everyone was focused on the quarterback chess match, the Eagles quietly began reshaping another key area, wide receiver. Coming into training camp, the room looked solid on paper. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith were anchors, while Jan Dodson offered versatility. Yet, the preseason is where uncertainty begins to surface. Johnny Wilson, who had struggled to find consistency in college, started to show the traits Philadelphia covets: height, physicality, and the ability to make contested catches. In his first preseason game, he climbed to snatch balls seemingly out of nowhere, demonstrating a skill set that could earn him a spot beyond just a developmental role. Similarly, Ainias Smith turned heads on special teams and in crucial offensive moments. The kind of player who can impact the game both as a receiver and in the return game is exactly the kind of hidden gem the Eagles love to develop. And then there's Darius Cooper, who in college was arguably the best wide receiver in FCS. He ran crisp routes, separated against press coverage, and showcased the raw athleticism that mirrors elite NFL talent. The way the Eagles integrated him into first-team reps, special teams, and the offensive schemes suggested that the team wasn't just testing him. They were evaluating a potential long-term contributor. All of this sets the stage for the John Metchi acquisition. Here's a player who was the 44th overall pick in the second round from Alabama, who faced unimaginable adversity after being diagnosed with leukemia in his rookie year. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds, and runs fluidly with the kind of athleticism that could have translated immediately if not for circumstance. In Houston, he struggled to get significant snaps because the depth chart was stacked. Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, and others created a situation where opportunities were limited, but the talent has always been there. Bringing him into Philadelphia signals more than just filling a roster spot. It's a chance to harness a player with pedigree, elite collegiate experience, and the drive to prove himself. The Eagles have a track record for taking players with raw potential and refining them into impact contributors, whether through scheme fit, coaching, or creating the right competitive environment. Aaron Moorhead has consistently developed receivers in a way that transforms their trajectories, and Metchi could very well be next in line to flourish under this system. When you look at the overall wide receiver group now, the competition is intriguing. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jan Dodson, Johnny Wilson, Ainias Smith, Darius Cooper, and now John Metchi create a dynamic mix of experience, youth, and raw potential. It's almost a roster puzzle. Who earns the 4th, 5th, and 6th wide receiver spots? Who makes the practice squad? And who might be used more situationally on special teams? Philadelphia has always been strategic in managing depth, ensuring that every active roster player has the potential to influence a game. Trading Harrison Bryant opens up room, not just physically on the roster, but philosophically. The move signals that the team is confident in the remaining tight end depth, while also hinting at the possibility that a player like Metchi could compete immediately. It also reflects a broader philosophy. The Eagles are not just building a team to survive a season. They're constructing a roster designed to win now, while maintaining flexibility to adapt as the year unfolds. Roseman's track record is unmistakable. From trading for Jacorian Bennett to previous acquisitions like Jan Dodson, Alberto Quegbunham, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, every move demonstrates a willingness to take calculated risks in August, knowing that the payoff comes when the regular season begins. The timing is no accident. By making moves late in the preseason, the Eagles not only catch other teams off guard, but also maximize the ability to evaluate talent in actual game scenarios. It's a delicate balance, adding new players late enough to avoid rush decisions, but early enough to integrate them into the system. Metchi's addition perfectly exemplifies this approach. Philadelphia isn't just bringing in a player. They're introducing someone who could reshape the depth chart, challenge incumbents, and provide the offense with an extra weapon capable of contributing in multiple ways. Looking at his college career, Metchi's numbers tell a story of consistency and high-level production. He was a reliable target for Alabama, growing from modest freshman stats into a leading receiver by his sophomore and junior seasons, earning accolades and establishing himself as a competitor who could perform under pressure. In the NFL, those skills have yet to fully manifest, not because of a lack of talent, but due to circumstance and opportunity. Philadelphia is the kind of environment that allows players to step into roles where they can maximize their potential. With a coaching staff that emphasizes player development and situational versatility, Metchi now has a chance to showcase the skills that made him a high second-round pick and a celebrated college athlete. As the Eagles continue to shape their roster heading into the 2025 season, the drama isn't just in the big-name acquisitions or high-profile trades. It's in the battles behind the scenes, in every rep taken on the practice field, and in the subtle shifts that determine who earns snaps on Sundays. The wide receiver room, already deep with talent, has transformed into a crucible of competition. A.J. Brown remains the undeniable cornerstone, a player whose combination of size, speed, and route-running precision makes him a threat on every play. He draws double coverage and forces defensive coordinators to adjust schemes around him. Yet even as the star, Brown sets the tone for the entire group, showing younger receivers what it means to prepare meticulously, study film endlessly, and maintain focus amid the chaos of a demanding NFL schedule. Devonta Smith complements Brown perfectly. He's the precise, technical receiver whose ability to create separation and run crisp, reliable routes turns third-and-long situations into manageable plays. Smith's chemistry with Jalen Hurts is nearly telepathic. They understand each other's tendencies, adjustments, and improvisations. That connection not only elevates Smith's performance, but also creates a standard that younger receivers must strive to meet. In practice, watching him and Brown work through route combinations demonstrates the high bar the coaching staff expects: precision, timing, and consistency in execution. Jan Dodson brings veteran stability to the room. While not as flashy as the younger players, his knowledge of the game, ability to read coverages, and contributions on special teams make him indispensable in subtle ways. Dodson's presence allows the coaching staff to test formations, experiment with personnel packages, and develop creative schemes without sacrificing reliability. He also serves as a mentor to players like Johnny Wilson and Ainias Smith, teaching the nuances of technique, positioning, and game day preparation that aren't always obvious on film. Johnny Wilson has become a name that fans and analysts are starting to watch closely. Though he came in as a relatively unheralded prospect, his preseason reps have showcased the rare combination of size, athleticism, and hands that can separate contested catches from drops. In early training camp, Wilson consistently outperformed expectations, climbing the depth chart rapidly. Coaches have been impressed not just by his physical skills, but by his football IQ. His ability to adjust routes on the fly, read coverage schemes, and find soft spots in zones demonstrates maturity beyond his years. He's a player who, if he continues to develop, could become the kind of versatile offensive weapon that allows the Eagles to stretch the field and create mismatches week after week. Ainias Smith, meanwhile, has carved out a niche as a hybrid contributor. His explosiveness on special teams is immediately noticeable, but he has also started to earn trust in the passing game. Smith excels in space, turning short passes into substantial gains with agility, vision, and acceleration. The Eagles value players like him because they can create dynamic, multidimensional plays, whether it's a screen pass, jet sweep, or designed route that takes advantage of his quickness. In Philadelphia's system, versatility isn't just a bonus, it's a requirement, and Smith exemplifies the type of adaptable talent that thrives under these expectations. Darius Cooper's story is equally compelling. Coming from the FCS, he's a player who had to prove himself at every stage. His route running is crisp, his ball-tracking instincts are refined, and he has the competitive edge that forces defenders into mistakes. Cooper's presence demonstrates a recurring Eagles theme, finding players with raw talent who can translate into productive contributors when given the right coaching, system, and opportunity. His inclusion in first-team reps signals that the staff is willing to invest in his development and test him against top-tier NFL competition, knowing that success here could yield significant returns for the offense. The addition of John Metchi changes the calculus entirely. With the Eagles' depth at wide receiver, Metchi isn't just another body. He's a player who brings a unique combination of collegiate pedigree, athletic skill, and personal resilience. His time at Alabama established him as a high-level competitor, someone who could create separation, track the ball through the air, and perform under pressure. His rookie season in Houston was interrupted, but Philadelphia sees an opportunity. Under Aaron Moorhead's guidance, Metchi can refine his routes, develop timing with Hurts, and gradually earn trust as a reliable target. What's particularly exciting about Metchi is his adaptability. He can line up outside, in the slot, and even take snaps on motion to create mismatches against slower or less versatile defenders. This versatility is exactly what the Eagles look for when designing personnel packages that can exploit the weaknesses of any defense. Depth, in this context, is more than just numbers. Each receiver, from the star to the practice squad hopeful, contributes to an ecosystem where competition drives performance. The battles for fourth, fifth, and sixth spots are fierce because each player has a chance to influence not only the immediate game plan, but also the long-term roster composition. For example, the staff may rotate Wilson, Smith, Cooper, or Metchi in red zone scenarios to see who produces under pressure, or on third downs to gauge who can separate reliably. These are not merely drills. They're evaluative opportunities that can make or break a player's season before week one even arrives. The coaching philosophy in Philadelphia emphasizes situational intelligence. It's not enough to catch the ball. Receivers must understand defensive tendencies, read pre-snap alignments, adjust on the fly, and communicate seamlessly with the quarterback and fellow receivers. Players like Brown and Smith have internalized this, but younger receivers are in a crucible of growth. Every rep, every route, every adjustment matters. Mistakes are noticed, corrected, and used as teaching moments. Players like Metchi, Wilson, and Smith are thriving in this environment because it combines accountability with opportunity. Those who learn quickly and adapt become integral. Those who don't may find themselves edged out. By the time week one arrives, the battles will have clarified, roles will be established, and the team will take the field with a roster shaped by deliberate strategy, competitive spirit, and thoughtful evaluation. Every addition, every rep, every decision along the way contributes to a season where every player is ready to impact the game, and where Philadelphia fans can watch as preparation meets opportunity, talent meets toughness, and potential meets performance in the pursuit of victory. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the league have taken a definitive shape as the Philadelphia Eagles officially close a deal to acquire offensive lineman Cooper Beebe from the Dallas Cowboys, marking a potentially seismic shift in both team strategies for the upcoming season. The rumor mill had been churning for weeks, with sources hinting at Dallas's willingness to part ways with Beebe, a player whose versatility on the offensive line had been both praised and scrutinized throughout his tenure with the Cowboys. Eagles insiders, who have been in quiet discussions behind closed doors, apparently moved decisively to secure Beebe, seeing in him the potential to bolster an offensive front that has faced inconsistencies over the past seasons. While neither team has disclosed the full terms of the trade, speculation suggests that Philadelphia may have had to give up future draft considerations or promising young talent to entice Dallas to part with their linemen. Fans on social media platforms are already buzzing with excitement and trepidation, dissecting Beebe's performance history and how he might fit into a scheme that emphasizes aggressive protection and dynamic offensive movement. Analysts are cautiously optimistic, pointing out that Beebe's adaptability could provide the Eagles with depth and flexibility. But there's also a palpable tension in the air, as every trade carries inherent risks, and integrating a new player mid-strategy is never without its challenges. The atmosphere in Philadelphia is charged, with murmurs in fan forums and sports podcasts suggesting that the Eagles' front office has been strategically maneuvering to address long-standing gaps in their offensive line. Cooper Beebe, a player whose presence has often gone under the radar in Dallas, is now suddenly under intense scrutiny, with pundits debating how his specific skill set, agility, reach, and tactical awareness can translate into a new environment. The timing of the trade is also intriguing, as it suggests a preemptive move to strengthen the Eagles' roster before rival teams can capitalize on potential weaknesses. Speculation is rife that head coach Nick Sirianni sees Beebe not just as a short-term fix, but as a cornerstone for reshaping blocking schemes that have occasionally faltered under pressure. Inside sources hint at high-level meetings where coaches reviewed film extensively, evaluating Beebe's consistency against elite defensive lines and his ability to adapt to fast-paced play calling. The chatter extends beyond technical assessments, with fans and media alike projecting narratives about locker room dynamics, leadership potential, and how quickly Beebe will integrate with veteran starters. Social media is aflame with debates, predictions, and hypothetical lineups, reflecting how a single trade can ripple through fan expectations, media coverage, and internal team morale, creating a storm of anticipation that's difficult to contain. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys find themselves navigating a delicate balance between letting go of a capable lineman and capitalizing on the strategic advantage of gaining assets in return. The rumor threads swirling online speculate about what exactly the Cowboys will receive in the deal: draft picks, player swaps, or perhaps a combination that addresses multiple roster concerns simultaneously. Some insiders suggest that Dallas is quietly confident in their remaining depth, implying that Beebe's departure might open opportunities for emerging talent to step into the spotlight. Meanwhile, fan reactions are mixed, with some expressing concern over potential gaps in protection for key offensive players, while others are optimistic that the trade will free resources to bolster other positions. Analysts are dissecting tape from both past seasons, examining Beebe's blocking efficiency, adaptability to different defensive fronts, and durability under pressure. This level of scrutiny underscores how a single trade can ignite a cascade of speculation, rumors, and projections that go far beyond immediate performance metrics. From locker room chemistry to strategic play adjustments, the narrative is building as if each whispered detail is another puzzle piece, contributing to a larger story of shifting alliances and calculated risk-taking that seems emblematic of the high-stakes nature of NFL roster management. The trade's ripple effect extends into the broader league discourse, where commentators and insiders are connecting dots between the Eagles' aggressive moves and potential strategies from other teams observing the transaction. Rumors abound that rival franchises are analyzing the Beebe acquisition with keen interest, assessing how it may alter Philadelphia's offensive dynamics and whether it pressures them to reconsider defensive alignments or player acquisitions of their own. The sense of anticipation has been amplified by social media speculation, podcasts, and sports news outlets, where each analyst's interpretation contributes to a swirling narrative of intrigue and possibility. Fans are dissecting not just the players' statistics, but potential matchups against key defensive opponents, imagining scenarios where Beebe's presence could tip the balance in high-stakes games. The speculation is further fueled by past instances of mid-season trades that reshape team trajectories, creating a historical lens through which observers interpret current events. Even casual followers are drawn into the conversation, discussing everything from Beebe's physical conditioning to how his personal style and professionalism might influence locker room morale. In this environment, the line between fact and rumor blurs, with every insider tip, cryptic social media post, or subtle comment from coaching staff serving as fodder for an ever-expanding story that keeps the league's fan base perpetually on edge. In Philadelphia, the excitement is palpable, but so is the sense of cautious optimism as fans, media, and analysts collectively anticipate how Cooper Beebe's integration will unfold on the field. Rumors persist that internal meetings have focused on refining blocking schemes, testing Beebe's synergy with different line combinations, and preparing contingency plans for varying defensive challenges. Observers speculate about the psychological dimension, questioning how Beebe's presence may alter team dynamics, influence morale, and impact performance under high-pressure situations. Conversations across sports media often highlight the delicate balance between expectation and execution, emphasizing that while the trade is promising, it is far from a guaranteed solution to past offensive inconsistencies. Social media reactions range from exuberant support to cautious questioning, reflecting the intense engagement that surrounds high-profile acquisitions. As training camps approach and preseason strategies are refined, the narrative is expected to evolve rapidly, with every performance, practice, and public comment contributing to a living story that feels as much a part of the season as the games themselves. In essence, what began as whispers and speculation has now materialized into a tangible storyline, one that underscores the power of rumors, strategic maneuvers, and fan engagement to shape the cultural landscape of professional football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.